Hey YouTube, Guy Webbs here with a review of a figure, an oldie but a goodie, the Marvel Legends Doctor Doom from the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure series. Now, it took me a while to get it. I was lucky enough to find it loose for dirt cheap, but 100% complete. I'm very happy to have this because Doctor Doom is my ultimate favorite Marvel villain, if you don't know, and my favorite villain as a whole. I don't have the packaging and the Build-A-Figure piece of this one with me since I bought this one loose, but I'll show you pictures real quick. In the way of accessories outside of the interchangeable fisted hands that come on him out of the packaging, it comes with this trigger finger hand. Camera will focus for the right side, and this open hand for the left side. And what's interesting is all the hands have this kind of hinge right here where it moves in and out, but the trigger finger hand has a up and down kind of hinge right here, a vertical hinge, which makes perfect sense, you know, for him holding the gun. Speaking of gun, he does have a holster right here with a D sculpted on and really nice leather texture. You can open this up. It's attached via a little latch or peg, and out comes his little gun right here. The barrel is a little bit warped. I have to fix that myself, but it does fit into his trigger finger hand really nicely. And put this hand on just like that. There you have Doom with the gun in his hand. He also does include an alternate head, so let's take a look at the default head first. This is the more modern or contemporary looking Doom, which is my favorite of the two heads. The head is separately molded inside the hood right here, and I like how the hood comes down to a triangle, and depending on angles may get obscured by shadows, so it looks a lot more menacing, which I really do like. As you can see in the photos at the end of the video, you can see his eyes right there and his eyelids. Looks so menacing in there. And the other head he comes with is the more 60s or 70s inspired Doom head sculpt with the smaller hood, I guess. And it's more rounded, more asymmetrical hood, and the mask is a little bit simpler. And the bolts all around it. And the way you swap this out, you pull the head off. Be careful, sometimes you might pop the entire neck joint off, but I haven't had that happen to me, so it's fine. And then you just pop this one on like so. And there's Doom with the more 60s or 70s head, in case you like this one better. I still like this one more though. By the way, this Doom does not include any kind of lightning effects, but if you do have lightning effects from other figures, like this one for example, I forgot what figure this came from, but yeah, if you have lightning effects, something like this from other figures, you can get it to work on this figure, and I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so with all the accessories out of the way, let's finally take a closer look at the figure. I already showed you both the head sculpts. It looks really nice. The body, he is of course wearing his green tunic and all that over his silver armor, which looks really nice. And this is a completely different sculpt from any of the past Doctor Doom figures from Hasbro. This is much bigger, much girthier than the old Doctor Doom from the Dark Days of Marvel Legends and the Return of Marvel Legends, Epic Heroes, whatever reissue. Those were garbage. And on the tunic, as well as the cape and the hood, there's some nice cloth texture, which looks really good. You get a bunch of nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout it. And I really like the color choice green as well. Guess I could have used some shading, but it's not really that bad. It still looks good in my opinion. The brown and the gold for the belt where the paints meet is really clean. Same with the buttons and the chains up here. Really like the color choice of silver for his armor too. It has a very medieval vibe to it. Here's the bottom. And there's some nice sculpted bolts and almost chainmail-ish pattern around the arms as well as the legs. And there's these little clasps and buckles right here. There's the back. These jet ports right here. He also doesn't come with those propulsion blast effects, but if you have some from like Iron Man or whatever, you can plug those in. And the lower part of the tunic for his legs is a softer rubbery type plastic split around the front and the back. The cape, while it looks good, this is probably my only gripe with the figure, since it is PVC plastic and it's not super stiff, but it is still kind of stiff and kind of weighs the figure down a little bit. So what I might do is I might just cut around the top here and then extend it with a cloth one. We'll see. But overall, this looks really nice and definitely my favorite Doctor Doom figure ever, and the best Doctor Doom figure ever. For the articulation, the head is on the typical Marvel Legends hinge ball joint, so it does rotate, move down this much and up this much, and this is something new. At least I haven't seen these on any newer Marvel Legends figures. Maybe this is the first, but he actually has a neck that is on a ball joint as well. It moves around a little bit. It's quite stiff and doesn't want to move that much. So with both joints all together, you can get him looking down this much, and with both joints all together, he doesn't really look that far or back with the neck joint, but with the head joint it does help because of the hinge. And sometimes when you move this, it might pop off, so do be careful. He does have a waist joint right here, which is on one big ball peg, so it does rotate, moves forward and back and side to side really nicely. Works as a ab joint kind of. Arms rotate all the way around, they go out to the side. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, wrist rotates and hinges in and out. And then of course the trigger finger hand for this side has a up and down hinge, kind of like this. The hips go out to the side this much. This, like I said, is a softer rubbery kind of plastic. And you can kick forward this much, not bad at all. Kind of goes out to the side a little bit, but not too bad. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees, ball hinge ankles, so they do rotate at the top. You go down, they do go up, and he does have ankle pivots. So really good articulation, definitely the most articulated out of all the Doctor Doom figures, and you'll be able to get him into some pretty cool Doctor Doom poses. Overall, I do highly recommend the Marvel Legends Doctor Doom from the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure series to any and all Marvel Legends collectors. If you collect the Marvel Legends line, you love the Fantastic Four, or if you're a fan of Doctor Doom and you missed out on the older Toybiz and Hasbro Doctor Dooms, and even if you still have the old Doctor Dooms and you want an upgrade from those, I definitely suggest getting this one, or even the I think the Fantastic Four Vintage Series reissue. But if you have to choose between either of the two new Doctor Dooms, I recommend this one easily, because this has more accessories. You get the interchangeable heads. You don't get the book and I think the hex effect, but I think that doesn't really matter. This one I think is a lot more worth it. I like the colors on this one better. It's just a matter of preference, but either way, either one you get, you're just going to be very happy to have it in your collection. You don't get a ton of accessories. He doesn't come with the unmasked Victor Von Doom head or lightning effects, but if you have the, I think the infamous Iron Man, or you have other effects such as lightning effects from Thor or anybody, or if you have the repulsor kind of effects from Iron Man, then you can equip them on this figure to accessorize him even more. The articulation is a vast improvement from any past Doctor Doom figures released, and outside of the plastic PVC cape giving some difficulty standing and posing, I really don't have anything else to complain about this figure. In the way of price and availability, the Marvel Legends Doctor Doom is around 15 to 20 bucks depending on where you purchase it. I bought mine loose without the packaging and the Super Skrull Build-A-Figure leg piece, so I got him for much cheaper. So This is also one of the most readily available Marvel Legends in my area as well. He's very easy to come by and he's very cheap. So happy hunting, and I'll see you next time. Guy Webb signing out. Bye.